Hi, this is Mike Henriksen from Fluent 2014 in San Francisco. I'm here with Langdon White and Ryan Jarvinen.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Great. Happy to be here.
So happy to be here. Has it been good for you?
It's been a great conference. O'Reilly always throws great conferences, but particularly as a local San Francisco person, I love this event. Great focus on JavaScript, which I'm really passionate about. So great to see O'Reilly really bringing the community together for something like this.
And so you two represent two sides of a large house, Red
Big
Hat.
shop, yeah.
And so you're with Red Hat proper, or whatever we want to call
Enterprise Linux, so what everyone thinks of when they say Red Hat. So yeah, I'm a developer evangelist for Enterprise Linux itself. And so I generally, at places like this, I talk about being able to run kind of more modern applications on Enterprise Linux than are traditionally thought of using Red Hat software collections. So now you can use Node, for example, on RHEL as a supported installable thing, and Python 3.3, Python 2.7, just a whole laundry list of different things. And then we talk about OpenShift as kind of the platform as a service, and that when developers kind of go rogue and they go off and build something because the CEO is screaming at them in OpenShift.com, and then they want to deploy it to the actual data center, because of the synergy between Red Hat software collections and OpenShift, they should, generally speaking, be able to just pick up the app out of OpenShift and send it over to the sysadmins and just drop it on a RHEL-supported platform.
So are you finding that the developers at this conference know this, or?
No, they don't. Yeah, and that's why it's actually been a really good conference for me in particular, but then us, I think, in general, that we're kind of able to talk about this. Hey, we're providing you a whole ecosystem. There's the cloud-based model, in the public cloud, if you want to do that. There's the cloud-based model in your data center with OpenShift, an OpenStack running in your actual data center. And then if you have a more traditional environment, either native RHEL or VM RHEL, you can still run all the same applications. It's just kind of like, what's your sysadmins want to do, and why are they beholden to what the developers want to do, and vice versa. Let's give them some independence so they can run it the way they want to.
Okay, so now you're with the cloud side.
Yeah, and the cloud side is going to rely really heavily on the underlying operating system being a secure open source environment, so that when we have problems in the cloud side, we make sure to put our patches at the right layer. And if that's with the RHEL team, we make sure that things are supported, open source up and down the whole stack is our goal.
So you have them from the very basic machine all the way
right
up.
From the ground up. We want to support open standards for Linux, of course, and then our next layer up from that is usually OpenStack for infrastructure as a service, and OpenShift for the platform as a service. And that's really where developers start seeing some real some benefits. OpenStack and infrastructure as a service is kind of like a conversation between a hardware vendor and an ops team, with not a lot for developers to really leverage there. We can provide that git push style deployment that people are looking for in the Bay Area.
And everywhere, really.
And everywhere, right? Yeah, all over. So there's a lot of workshops that are really coming to expect a lot more out of their platform, and so it's great to see open source solutions really filling in that gap.
Excellent.
Well, I really like but I like that we're offering the complete solution. So, if you're what you think of as like Big Iron Enterprise and you're not ready for that kind of cloud, this stuff out there in the crazy land, having that whole ecosystem does lets you pilot it out. It lets you try it out without being beholden to when the developers are ready for it or not. So you can kind of say, hey, we're running a traditional shop, but we want to pilot OpenShift internally. So let me just move some apps over there and see how it works. It just kind of gives you that way to move into the cloud or move into DevOps without kind of betting your whole farm on it.
So instead of flipping a switch, you can kind of turn a slider on and move
Exactly.
there when you're ready.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Excellent. So where do you see this all going in the future with Red Hat, and especially with this community, this JavaScript community?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Node.js. Really excited to see where that goes. Langdon's team has SCL packages for providing the latest Node.js on traditional Linux and making sure you can always keep up to date with fresh runtimes.
OpenShift actually consumes the same software collection. So it's the same code, that is running on OpenShift as running on native RHEL. So when you're an app developer, you care, right? You I don't want any different bits and pieces in there because otherwise I have to QA it again. So because it's the same code for a lot of these libraries, it just works, right? Which I think is a really compelling story. And that's what I want to see in the future, right?
It just works is a very compelling story.
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I want to see is that both kind of cutting edge organizations that are able to take the kinds of risks of flipping the switch on and run in a full on DevOps style, fully in the cloud kind of application model is great. But I also think it's really important to make sure we can get everybody there. So let's give them a way to get there and a nice path to follow. And then they can all be using this kind of on-demand kind of development styles because it's so much more fun as a developer, right? Being able to do this kind of stuff this way instead of having to, figure out. We were just trying to figure out a virtual host. It's no fun, right? So let's not have to do that anymore.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing you guys at other events. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. That was great.